All right, a very good evening to Mr. Mehan and to all my beloved classmates. We are Group B7 from MGM4136 Group 1, and today our topic is about the importance of developing a strong corporate and personal branding. So, these are my colleagues from Group B7. So, let's start off with our first slide. All right, so today, what is the scope of our topic? What will you learn, which will be highly related to your future careers and personal development? This is the agenda of our presentation. Firstly, we have the introduction to the topic of ours, which is the importance of corporate and personal branding. Secondly, we have the reasons. This is the why part of why do we need to build our branding. Thirdly, is the benefits and advantages. Fourth, we have the risks and challenges of the process of building our personal and also the corporate branding. And lastly, we have the strategy, which is the how part. All right. So how to build your personal branding or corporate branding? How can you connect with the audiences? How can you stand out in front of the crowd? Okay. So let's get started. Okay. Now let's move on to our introduction. So, firstly, what is branding? Branding is, as the definition you see on the screen, a marketing practice in which a company creates a name, symbol, or design that is easily identifiable as belonging to the company or to the personal individuals. All right. So it is also an ongoing process of developing and also maintaining a reputation and the impression of a certain individual, group, or organization. Okay, so this helps to identify a product and also to distinguish it from other products or services. And it is also a way of clarifying yourself, clarifying your position, what do you offer, what are your services, and also what is it you offer that makes you the better choice. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So branding is also essentially the act of creating a brand. The process involves positioning your company or product in the market, which is how you carve up your own place, devising brand strategy, how will you reach your goals, creating your name, what is your verbal identity, designing corporate identity or product identity, your visual identity to the others. How can you present yourself to the others? What are your image to the others? And also writing brand messaging, verbal and written tone. And also lastly, setting brand standards. How can you keep your brand consistent and strong with quality proven standards? Okay, so I'll move on to the corporate branding. What is corporate branding? Corporate branding is the practice of promoting the brand name of a corporate identity. Okay, and is also the process involved in creating a unique name and image for a corporate in the consumer's mind. Okay. The company, the certain organization or company is usually branded mainly through advertising campaigns with a consistent theme. Okay, so it is also the intangible attitude and spirit behind the company that gives it a distinguishing identity in the industry and also in the minds of consumers. Why do I say that? Well, firstly, what comes to our mind when we see the Apple logo? We usually think of everything associated with the brand, such as expensive premium pricing, fast computers, innovation, consistency, high technology, etc. Okay, so the picture on the right shows a picture of McDonald's. What do you think when you see this? Here's what comes to my mind. Fast food, burgers, fries, somewhat tasty, and definitely unhealthy food. Okay, maybe Happy Meals for the kids. All right. So these are the image that McDonald's and Apple present to us consumers. So these are also their corporate branding. This is the first thing that leaps into our mind when we see these logos or stores. Next. All right, now I'll move on to personal branding. What is personal branding? Personal branding is the conscious and intentional effort to create and influence public perception of an individual by positioning themselves as an authority in their industry. Okay, next, to elevate their credibility in the eyes of the consumers and the audiences. Okay, what is it that is so credible about yourself? And lastly, differentiating themselves from the competition. So essentially, personal branding is a form of self-packaging. Okay, so it is essentially how you promote yourself, the telling of your story to the others. It is the unique combination of expertise, experience, and also personality that you want everyone else to see about you. In short, is the telling of your story, okay, to present what are you unique to the eyes of the consumers. So this is a few examples. This is Warren Buffett. Okay, he's an investor, intelligence, stock expert, advisor, everything else you name it. The person on the right is Steve Jobs, risk taker, perfectionist, tech expert, innovator. Yeah. Okay, so these are the personal brandings. They are presented like this to us. We'll make a quick comparison between these two. Firstly, corporate branding is at the name sector. The company names are always used, while at the personal branding, you get to use your own name. Okay, next we will move on to logo. Corporate branding, those corporations usually have important symbols of identities, or they have a visual representation to the eyes of the consumer, such as Nike, they have the symbolic tick, and Adidas, they have the symbolic three stripes. While personal branding, it is not compulsory to have a logo of your own, and it is certainly not limited to a personal or artistic way. Thirdly, we have the reputation. So the reputation of the corporate branding, it depends on external and also internal ratings and reviews. While personal branding, it is not dependent on others. You are solely depending on yourself, your own skill, your own craft. Lastly, we have come to the structure. So for the corporate branding, the corporate presents a collection of customers' perceptions, corporate social responsibilities, market dominance, etc. In essential, it is about how valuable their product or service is to the consumers or to the audience outside, to the public. While personal branding is a collection of skill sets, perceptions, community service, etc. How valuable the abilities of the person are to others. That's what forms up the value of you in the public's eyes. Okay, next I'll pass on to the next presenter. Thank you very much.
Guys, so I'm gonna talk about the reason why do a company need to develop a strong corporate branding and why do individual need to develop a strong personal branding. So we go to corporate branding first. So the first reason why a company need to develop a corporate branding, strong corporate branding is raise awareness. So when a company with have a strong corporate branding, so the the that it can make more and more people get to know the company products, the names, and can implant the image of the company in their mind. Here come up a situation. So today you are really want to eat fried chicken. Okay, fried chicken. So the first restaurant go out from your mind is what? Next. There are KFC and Desert Chicken, right? Those those company with a strong corporate brand. But why not about the street fried chicken which is nearby our house? It's more convenient and easy to get compared to those KFC and Desert Chicken, right? So actually corporate branding is sometimes it will indirectly affect our choice when we purchase. So that is the first reason why a company need to develop a strong corporate branding. So the second reason is building trust between the company and the customer. Next, there are second situation now. So if today there is a bird flu outbreak in Hunan, China, and you are really want to eat a fried chicken, the KFC already said that he said that our chicken has been tested and absolutely safe. And our street fried chicken owner also say our chicken has been tested and is absolutely safe. And which one will you choose to purchase? Yeah, definitely it's KFC, right? It's not about the taste, about the environment is more comfortable, but it's about the trust. Customer is more prefer to choose the company with a strong corporate branding compared to others. So it's about trust. Another one. So now we're going to talk about the personal brand next. Do you ever wonder why there are a lot of people exchange their name card when they are first meet up? Is it only to use to introduce themselves or want to show off their position in their job? Actually, it is about showing the volume of them. It's same goes to the personal branding. So now, if today your friends, your boss, or your client, they have a business opportunity for you, and you are really want to get it next. But now come a question next. Who you are? Why they have to choose you as their partner? Next. So now the personal branding is very useful and important in this situation. If you have a strong personal branding with, for example, like you are knowledgeable, you are hardworking, you are sincerely, you are humility, so that's a chance of that they choose you as their partner. But if you are no develop a strong, a positive personal branding, others will judge you as ego, jealousy, cheap, and lazy. So why not we develop a positive and strong personal branding for ourselves? Another reason why we need to develop a strong personal branding is building self-awareness. Next. So do you ever stand at the second floor, third floor of the shopping mall and look from the above to the ground? Next. I do. I always do this action, and I am very enjoy see the people moving down. Go, there are a lot of people, and now I always ask one question to myself: how can I stand out from the crowd? There are a lot of people outside there, and how can I stand out from the crowd? How can I success and compete with them? So it is very, very important of personal brand develop a strong personal branding. If you have a good, positive, and strong personal branding, you are easy to recognize and easy to let the people know. So next, before I end my part, I would like to share a quote that I am very like from Zig Ziglar is I have always said that everyone is himself. Maybe you don't hold the title of salespeople, but if the business you are is required to deal with people, you, my friend, are in sales.
Hi everyone, my name is Chai Ching, and now I'm going to present about the benefits and advantages of corporate and personal branding. Next. Okay, so we come to the corporate branding first. Okay, so there's a quote here: an image is worth 1,000 words. A company logo enables all of us to capture our target market and allow them to know who we are and what we offer. So corporate branding attracts our target customers and facilitates our communications with them. Okay, second, spirit de corps. It's a French word, means that a sense of unity and of common interests and responsibilities, as developed among a group of persons closely associated in an enterprise. A corporate brand can develop the group spirit among members. For example, the Apple brand has established a dominant position of being a design-driven and innovative company offering many types of products and services. Its corporate brand encapsulates the body and soul of the company. It is a powerful motivating force for buying Apple product brands, including the iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch. Third one, achieve the cost efficiencies or investment efficiency. So when a corporation decides to implement a corporate branding strategy, some cost efficiencies can often be achieved. As the corporate brand replaces the budgets for individual product line marketing efforts, there are apparent cost efficiencies in terms of reduced marketing and advertising spending. Even a combined corporate and product branding strategy can often enable management to reduce costs and exploit synergies from a new and more focused brand architecture. Okay, lastly, it can also gain the value of the company. Corporate branding is much easier to increase the value of the company from the logo, advertising, customer service, and the reputation. It's how we can target audience perceive our company from all of this? Of course, this value comes from the time and money we invest in developing a brand that gradually becomes recognizable to consumers. So the consumers who are familiar with the brand but not the products will already have a built-in sense of the brand. Next, we are our own brand. You are your own brand. Okay, so the first one is that we will become more identifiable in person. We will become more recognizable in person. For example, there are many people attend in-person events to promote their business and to secure new clients. So if you want to do a personal branding, we might attend local or regional trade shows, conferences, and conventions. Maybe we have written a book and we want to host a book signing. Whatever the case, getting noticed in person can help us build our brand even further and make our business more profitable. These are people who have learned the value of our name and therefore tend to our own name in our marketing efforts, rather than highlighting the name of our business. Second, the personal branding can build our confidence. Personal branding, as we know, can be scary. You might feel vulnerable when you put yourself out there and make yourself more visible to your target audience. It's a good form of anxiety, though it means that you are trying something new and taking a risk. As you get more comfortable with personal branding, you might find that your confidence rises. You won't feel as anxious about sharing personal details with your audience, getting in front of the camera, and other aspects of the personal branding. Plus, that confidence can stretch and other areas of your business. Okay. Lastly, you are always 100% authentic. Our personal brand is built upon our values, our goals and skills and passions. It comes directly from our quest for meaning and fulfillment. It grows from what we stand for. It's 100% you and nobody else. You never have put on a fake persona or a contrived voice that isn't genuinely you. Being totally authentic is all that you do makes life much easier and more fulfilling.
Okay, hi. My name is Tan Hui Qin, matrix number 197458. So now I'm going to continue on the challenges of corporate branding and personal branding. Challenges of corporate branding. Next. So the first one is managing brand consistency. So what is brand consistency? Brand consistency is the practice for a company to always deliver messages that are in line with the identity and value of its brand. It simply means the brand recognitions. A consistent branding helps in developing a shared value between the company and its customer. These shared values are the reason customers develop a relationships and trust with the brand. So if your values keep changing, your customer will struggle to trust you. And what will happen if the brand is inconsistent? Brand inconsistency will cause confusion. Customer will be confused with the value that a company tried to deliver because the messages is different all the time, and eventually it may affect the company credibility. Next. So look at the photos here. Is it confusing? When you saw the brand name Colgate with rice and meat, are you confused? So this is a great example of brand inconsistency. What do you use Colgate for? Most likely when brushing your teeth. So in the year 1982, Colgate introduced Colgate Kitchen Entries, a line of frozen food products. But people think of Colgate when they tend to clean their teeth and not frozen food, not eating. This brand extension was weird and created confusion in customers' mind, and it actually contributed to a decline in Colgate's toothpaste sales. Therefore, a brand with products that doesn't seem to go together or a branding that isn't consistent across the line simply confuses people. A company needs to take a careful strategy and strong portfolio to ensure that they don't fall into the dangers of inconsistent branding. So next is bringing up breakthrough brand concepts. It is hard for the brand to stand out in a competitive market. The challenge is to be unique and stand out among the crowd. What a company need to do is they have to position the brand uniquely to make it memorable for its customer. This means a company needs to generate excellent ideas and perfect executions, innovative marketing and advertising to bring a brand vision to life. The important job to position the brand uniquely so that it fulfills a supply requirement. Otherwise, the brand will get swamped by competitions. The idea here is not just to be good, but to be memorable. And that requires a holistic approach towards the brand positioning. For examples, if you look at the logo in the slides, can you recall the brand name and tagline immediately? It's Nike, and just do it. Nike did a great job to develop its brand. It remains such a favorite brand because its logo and tagline are instantly memorable. Next, creating a digital branding strategy. Digital branding is complex, dynamic, and in need of a different mindset. It requires new capabilities, creative initiative, and new ways to work with other marketing modalities. What a company needs to do is to adjust the digital marketing focus from the offering and the brand to the customer sweet spot, which is what the customers interested in or even passionate about. They can promote the brand around the sweet spot with an influencing partner. For examples, next. Airbnb markets its brand for doing social media influencer collaborations. Mariah Carey was the first celebrity to use Airbnb back in 2015, and when the company marketing team saw her post got 45K likes, they jumped onto the opportunity to collaborate with her, the first of many influencer campaign. Then Airbnb they go to cooperate with Lady Gaga for Super Bowl performance, Drake, Martin Garrix, Wiz Khalifa. So Airbnb done the online branding strategy by leveraging influencers to do the marketing for them. It is a smart way to build and expose their brand to the public. So a company should create the best strategy to overcome the challenge of building brand online. So next, challenges of personal branding. The first challenge is similar to corporate branding challenge, which is inconsistency. Consistency is a tool for establishing other personal values you want to make as a part of your brand. For a personal brand, this can be a challenge because it requires the individual to maintain consistency across all online estates, whether on company websites, social media platforms, or blog. Modern messages or a confused persona can be very damaging for the brand because the individual are displaying different messages or characteristics at different platforms. People wouldn't know which one is the real them. This also has to stretch into behavior in person too. When a person's follow through promises, people see him as dependable, reliable, and when the communication style is clear, consistent, the person is reinforcing trustworthy and direct. So a personal brand isn't just for Christmas, for festival like once in a year, yet it needs to be looked after on a daily basis. If an individual practices this inconsistently, it could lead to some negative consequences. So it is important to maintain a consistent front across all different social media channels and maintain consistent behavior all the time. Next, lack of direction. Lack of direction is a challenge for individual personal brand to add value to themselves accurately and effectively. Think about who the person aimed to target and the personal branding. If a person don't know what is the direction and attempting to be all things and to all people, it can be a way to lose credibility. When you reinforce so many characteristics at once, people wouldn't know which one is the best of you, and it became so hard to stand out among so many competitors. To overcome this challenge, individuals need to decide on a niche and stick to it and use it to find relevant content and create relevant networks on platforms such as Twitter to brand themselves. Next, lack of professionalism. The sense of a lack of professionalism could be damaging to both the individual and the company's brand. Unprofessional behavior could take many different forms like refusal of performing assigned tasks, lateness, overindulgence of alcohol, or being offensive to the others. This kind of behavior could ruin all the good impressions or good image that an individual built for personal brand, causing loss of trust and affect the relationship with prospective clients and employer. Therefore, ensuring the professionalism is crucial for sustaining personal branding. So that's all from me. Now we'll pass it on to the next presenter.
My name is Cheng Sun Hing. You guys can address me as Cheng or Sun Hing. Okay, now let's start our first slide. Okay, next. Okay, in this slide, you can see that how big the corporate branding is and important to a company. At the first, you can see Starbucks is a brand that copy from the Starbucks. OFC actually is Kentucky Fried Chicken. In this, Obama Fried Chicken. Very interesting, right? But all of this, they lose their identity already. So they lose their corporate branding and make it very weird, like 712. McDonald's change become Michael Alone. So for sure, they will alone forever. Okay, next. Okay, so how do you develop a strong corporate brand? Okay, a corporate logo is the visual pieces of the brand, which is usually represent who, what, and for. So okay, let's take an example. Apple is a luxury product, expensive, good quality, and only used for the rich people. Okay, another one, McDonald's, fast food, Happy Meal, Big Mac, McChicken, and the most thing is unhealthy. Okay, but in the corporate branding, you must say the benefits because McDonald's is very convenient and fast. Normally, we will like to having the breakfast there because of the promotion and the deals in the McDonald's apps. Okay, now determine your brand's promise, the who, what, why, and for. In this step, we have to gather all the leaders of your organization department and open a discussion for all company because all the leader of each department, they knows what they need, what the company needs. So as the picture shown, a Japanese football team. Why I show this picture? Because in a football team, you must have a striker, midfielder, and goalkeeper. If one of them not around, then the football team will cannot score and cannot compete in the World Cup. And this Japanese football team win the Colombia 2-1 in the Russia World Cup. That means have a full team, full strength, then can beat anything. Okay. So a complete team can form a strong branding. And you must have a clear mission, customer, product, and service and promise. All of this will help someone leading in the discussion, whether it's someone from your company or your outsourcing partner or a branding professional to help drum it all down to key your brand messaging. Okay, next. Okay, now the second step is get everyone on board. I mean, it's everyone. In this picture, everyone can fly. It's told by Tony Fernandez, Asia. Okay, why I say like this? Because now you have to distribute all the messages you discuss in the company to your employee. Distribute a survey and questionnaire that assess how the staff really perceive to the company and what they think about the brand, and let them communicate because communicate is very important. So this ensure that your organization leader are on the same paper with everyone else and is think same, have a same vision, same mission in the company. So in this picture, now everyone can fly. Right, next. Okay, Max, your brand come alive. Now is the time to gather all the information and narrow it down to a specific brand strategy and represent it with a visually logo. Okay, for some business, this means taking their existing logo and modify it to become better represent the company mission. Such as, for example, Asia. Last time Asia is said that Asia is the leading airline in the world and the cheapest airline and let everyone can fly. Now change already. Asia changed their logo, changed to another new logo is for everyone. That means the Asia provide not only the airline service and also provide food ordering service, insurance, and Wi-Fi and so on. Okay, the most important things is exploit new technology. Okay, modern technology nowadays play an important role in the corporate branding strategy. Technology help to gain the effectiveness and improve the competitive edge of the corporation. A well-designed and a fully updated intranet is a must in today's working environment, which have become increasingly virtual with employees working from home. Okay, you can see the picture. Now, Asia changed already. Not only the airlines company become for everyone. You can see, can book activity, you can shop, insurance, can book your food, unlimited deals, health, and take care all things around you. Now Asia is taking take part in every events, every activity around your daily life. So in the end, and in conclusion, I want to say, corporate branding is very important. And I will end my parts, which is corporate branding strategy with Asia.com is more than just an airline now. It's not just an airline. It's not just a flight, and it's for everyone. Now I will pass the personal branding strategy to my colleague. Thanks.
Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Mahan. So I'm Charles, and I'm going to present about the strategy of how to develop personal branding. Okay, so do you guys know who is this person? Okay, so this person is Steve Jobs. Okay, so when we talk about Steve Jobs, I believe that the first thing that people will think about is Apple, iPhone, and iPad. Okay, so why you guys will relate him with the Apple products? It is because Steve Jobs turned Apple into a powerhouse of a brand. So this is one of the examples of personal branding. As when you think of Steve Jobs, you immediately relate to Apple. Okay, next. So do you guys, okay, this is a second example. So do you guys know who is this person? So I believe that students from China will be very familiar to him. Okay, so he is Jack Ma. Okay, so when we talk about Jack Ma, I believe that the first thing that people will think about is Alibaba and Taobao. Okay, so why everybody will relate him with the Alibaba group and Taobao? It is because Jack Ma lead his company to achieve a whole different level of visibility with his unique thinking. So this is another example of personal branding, as when you think of Jack Ma, you will immediately relate to his unique way of thinking and business talent. Okay, so basically, personal branding is the way you want people to see you, but it's also the way you want to live your personal and professional life. So it's your personality and the imprint you leave on others. Okay, so the question is, how do you develop a strong personal branding? Next. Okay, the first strategy is figure out who you are. So in order to build a personal branding that accurately reflects your personal and professional identity, you first need to know who you are. You have to be introspective and create a list of personal strengths and weaknesses, and ask yourself about these two questions. What motivates me, and what characteristics have others complimented me on? Okay, so if you are struggling to answer these two questions, you may ask your friends and family how they would describe you. So once you are more aware of the different facts of your personality, you can decide how to best brand them. So keep in mind that many people struggle to choose a specific niche because they don't want to limit themselves. But the best strategy is to choose a particular area you like to focus on and let it evolve over time. Thanks. Okay, so the second strategy to develop personal branding is determine what you want to be known for. So your personal brand is more than a reflection of who you are today, and it's a roadmap of where you to go. In addition to understanding your existing skills and competencies, you have to assessing your strengths and weaknesses as they relate to whichever industry or career you want to break into next. And by doing this, you will uncover the skills and traits that make you distinct, as well as the areas where you need to improve or gain new knowledge in order to advance. Forecasting where you want to be in 5 or 10 years, and the attributes you want to be known for can help you better determine what steps you need to take in order to get there. So the third strategy to develop personal branding is embrace networking. So as you cultivate your ideal personal brand, it is very important to network regularly and effectively to grow your professional circle. And you should connect with peers and industry through thought leaders by going to formal and informal networking events. So remember, the more connections you make, the more value you can provide, and thus the more likely your personal brand will be recognized. So regularly attending these events will help you not only to build your brand, but potentially advance your career. So at these events, don't be shy about asking fellow attendees to meet again for an informational interview or a casual coffee chat. And remember, if you don't get a chance to connect at the event, reach out via email or LinkedIn to spark a conversation. Okay, next. In short, a personal brand is who you are and what you stand for and the values you embrace and the way in which you express your values. As summarized, personal branding is one story. So that story can play an important role in establishing or boosting one's career, as personal branding should highlight the strengths and establish the reputation of a particular person. Okay, so for conclusion, firstly is corporate and personal branding enables the company or individual to stand out among the competitors and to have their own unique traits to connect with the audience. So, and the second one, organizations and individuals should always actively seek for the suitable branding as the world needs everything you can give. So with that, thank you everyone. So this coming end of our presentation.